I have a buddy that called me last night, and he met a girl and thinks he might be in love. Was just wondering how to handle the situation, and you know, I was encouraging him to kind of do things the right way and not have sex with her, basically. He's afraid that if he doesn't, that, you know, she'll just kind of lose interest and move on, and that's a legit, you know, fear, a concern that I've heard before from people. Like, well, if they wait, that the other person won't want to wait for them, and I was like, well, then they're the wrong person. And I reminded him of this story in the Bible that it reminded me of, or like David was, he was anointed to be the king of Israel. He was, you know, he was on the run from Saul, who was the current king. Saul was jealous of him, trying to kill him, and David was hiding out in the wilderness, you know, and Saul was looking for him, and David was hiding in this cave, and Saul came into the cave to use the bathroom, and David was in that same cave hiding, and David had an opportunity to kill him, and he didn't. And David's men asked him, like, why didn't you kill him? You had a chance. And David said, well, you know, who am I to kill the Lord's anointed? Basically, he was saying, like, look, if God wants to give me the kingship, he can give it to me. I don't have to take matters into my own hands and kill this dude, you know? And he kind of left it open and let God take care of it. And eventually Saul did get killed, and the kingship was delivered right to David the way it was always supposed to be. It wasn't something that he had to make happen. And it really reminded me of that situation. I talked to my friend about it, and it's like, I'm like, yeah, you could go out and have sex with this girl, and you could take matters into your own hands because you're trying to control the situation, or you could do it the right way and, you know, take a stand for something and leave it up to God and give him an opportunity to work. And you know, I just thought I'd share it because I do hear that from people a lot, that it's fear. You know, it's a fear that if they do the right thing, that things won't work out. But fear comes from the enemy. Fear is the opposite of love. Fear doesn't come from God. Fear comes from, you know, the devil.
This video popped up in my memories on Facebook the other day, and I thought it was timely because the day before I had confessed on social media to almost making a mistake on New Year's Eve with a female. And I had a friend ask me that same day, they said, why don't you just choose someone and get married so you can remove that temptation from yourself? And my answer to them was, that would be me acting out of fear and would be the equivalent of taking matters out of God's hands and into my own and trying to control the situation. I'm completely convinced that God is aware that I'm single and how hard it is for me to not be having sex in the season of my life. And he has the power to bring a right person into my life at any time that he wants. And if he hasn't done it yet, for me to just go out and try to control the situation and make it happen on my own because I'm afraid of potentially making a mistake is not a decision that I'm willing to make. So I need to continue to do what I believe that he's called me to do and remain in the center of his will and just try to do the right thing as often as possible and trust him with the outcome.